दमदार आणि दिलदार अशा प्रकारचा मित्र या ठिकाणी सोडून गेलेला आहे।
क्या आप और अजीत पवार साहब भी कल डिप्टी सीएम पद की शपथ लेंगे?
अरे भैया अभी तो कहा, देवेंद्र जी ने भी कहा, मैं भी कह रहा हूँ रुको थोड़ा, अभी शाम तक रुको, अभी कल शपथ ली है ना,
उनका कल समझ में आएगा, मैं तो लेने वाला हूँ।
Well, it's been exactly 24 hours now. The last rites of Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar will be performed in Baramati today. The cremation expected to take place at 11 a.m. at Vidya Pratishthan Maidan. Prime Minister Modi and Union Home Minister Amit Shah are expected to attend the last rites as this mortal remains who were kept at Vidya Pratishthan for public to pay their last respects. As Ajit Pawar's wife Sunetra Pawar and Sanjay Pawar were also seen in tears while paying their last respects. Pictures that have been coming in now, distressing, and the family is still overwhelmed and in disbelief that something like this could have ever happened with Ajit Pawar. Just 24 hours ago, he was on his way to Baramati as far as to attend several public meetings, but life cut him short. Varun Singh ji is connected with us, and so is Dr. Asha Mirge. Thank you very much for taking out your time. It's something that the entire country that has been standing in solidarity and with the supporters of Ajit Pawar ji on this very sorrowful occasion. But so are reporters there, Arunil and Nilesh, also joining us here on the broadcast. We'll be getting you the live updates coming in from Baramati. But in the meantime, let's show you exactly what happened 24 hours ago. It was approximately around this time when we received the news of the fatal air crash that was reported in Baramati. The video showing the final moments just before the crash, several of them that have captured when it comes to the plane flipping, losing control, free falling, and then hitting the ground. In the footage, the aircraft can be seen descending rapidly in Baramati before disappearing over the horizon moments ahead of a fireball and a massive plume of smoke. The cause of the accident that is yet to be determined, as the aircraft's black box, including the flight data recorder, the cockpit voice recorder, will now be analyzed as far as his recovery is concerned. But this is what had happened in the last 26 minutes that we are looking at, and what the Civil Aviation Minister yesterday said, because it was the second attempt that the pilots were making to attempt to land. As far as the visibility seems to be an issue there, the first approach couldn't happen. A go-around was then initiated. The ATC asked the pilots about the position and then asked, can you see the runway? Is the runway visible to you? The pilots, however, said that it was currently not in sight. Then few seconds later, they confirmed that the pilots can see the runway now. It was approximately 8:43 a.m. yesterday when the plane was cleared to land on runway 11. The clearance that came in from the ATC, but however, there was no readback from the pilots over the clearance that was given. And within seconds, we are looking at this deadly air crash that happened. Flames were seen around runway 11 threshold, and there were no survivors. There were 5 people on board that ill-fated flight that took off from Mumbai from Baramati. Now, as far as these developments that are now concerned, investigation that has been taking place, because that seems to be every angle that is now being probed by the agencies that we are looking at. You can see the wreckage that is now left behind, the remains that is now left behind. The entire area now seems to have been cleared, but it took some time for the rescue teams to also reach that patch when it comes to this crash that had taken place, because it was a huge fire that had also reported right after the crash that happened near the Baramati airport. Let's connect with Arunil on this. Arunil, exactly 24 hours ago, the news came in as far as when it comes to the ill-fated crash. 5 people on board, including the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Ajit Pawar, no more, untimely demise that has now been reported. Of course, the entire country and its supporters have been grieving on this loss.
Well, that is right. A team of the AIB as well as the DGCA are at the spot where the crash took place. They're closely inspecting the debris of this Learjet private aircraft in which Ajit Pawar was traveling. At present, I'm reporting from this Vidya Pratishthan Pratishthan ground. You can see preparations have been made over here for the final journey of Ajit Pawar, the Deputy CM of Maharashtra. Somebody who had close ties with the opposition as well as the ruling alliance in Maharashtra as well. Maharashtra politics is mercurial. It is about regional loyalties. It is about fragile alliances, and Ajit Pawar maneuvered it very smartly for 40 long years. He is somebody who was close to Uddhav Thackeray as well. When Uddhav Thackeray was the CM, Ajit Pawar was the Deputy CM. Devendra Fadnavis himself is calling him as a very true and a very close friend. He was the Deputy CM to Devendra Fadnavis as well. This is Baramati, the hometown of Ajit Pawar, the place from where basically Ajit Pawar started his political career, from the cooperative roots that his uncle had set in the cooperative movement. That is the cooperative banks, the cooperative sugar factories that his uncle had started in. You can see many of the people that we have been speaking over here are with teary eyes over here. In some time, at 11 a.m., the final rites will be held. And this entire ground, you can expect it to be full now, because many of the people are at the residence where the mortal remains are also kept. All the people have been saying that Amar Rahe Ajit Pawar. All of them have been saying that Ajit Pawar used to start his day at 5 a.m. in the morning, and whenever these people used to go to him, he used to entertain them, he used to listen to them and not make any kind of false promises. If it was possible to do their work, he used to do it. His demise, untimely demise, sudden demise, also puts in a very big vacuum in the regional politics of Maharashtra, because he was seen as a regional satrap, a leader who controlled the politics of Western Maharashtra. Now, what is going to happen to the legacy of the NCP party as well? A clear cut, a true successor to Sharad Pawar, Ajit Pawar was being seen, at least with respect to Maharashtra politics is concerned. Supriya Sule was handling New Delhi, Ajit Pawar was handling over here. And in the recent times, we had seen a growing bonhomie between Sharad Pawar and Ajit Pawar as well, after the infamous or the much talked about split around a year ago. So a kind of in the upcoming Zilla Parishad elections as well, the two factions were supposed to contest together. So the future of the NCP as a party, the Pawar legacy, also there is a massive vacuum over here. Speaking about Ajit Pawar, a leader who catered to the agrarian or the rural people, basically catered to agrarian issues, as well as he was somebody who's been responsible for the development of cities like Pune as well as Pimpri-Chinchwad as well. Primarily Pimpri-Chinchwad, because Ajit Pawar controlled the municipal corporations in Pimpri-Chinchwad. Many of the development projects in Pune were also handled by.
We're going to talk about the life and time of Ajit Pawar, but there you can see, as far as the scenes is now concerned, so a lot of supporters there who have now gathered Dr. Ashaji. I mean, they have been expressing grief and disbelief over what has happened in this tragedy. It is extremely unfortunate. And Ajit Pawar himself was a disciplined leader who began his day early and had complete command over the administration. And that exactly what he was up to even yesterday, while he was expected to participate in several public level meetings as well while he was on his way to Baramati.
Yeah, see, this is very difficult time for we people. We means the Pawar family, the NCP family, the Maharashtra. This vacuum will never be fulfilled. Now, my brother was saying he was a leader who listens to. Just now, before 15-20 days, some girl in 8th standard from Bid wrote directly to the Ajit Pawar that something is going on in my school, which is corruption, as per my knowledge. That letter was read by Ajit Pawar. That investigation, that condition was examined by him, and the concerned person, the officer, was dismissed. Rather, first he was suspended, then departmental inquiry, and then he will be dismissed. This is the way he used to work. From top to bottom, means the lowest and lowest person in our Maharashtra, who is his voter, who is the voter of the Maharashtra, not his, I will say. Maybe he is from he is farmer, maybe he is worker, maybe he is educated, not educated, female, youth, senior, whosoever, he used to listen to him. He used to give the attention to every person coming to him. Every time when I am working with him since 10th of June 1999, the Rashtravadi, birth of the Rashtravadi. Along with the Sharad Pawar, he is the person who has given his time, his energy, his brain to develop this party, to take this party to this level where it is. Not only the party, the Baramati, the cooperative movement, the decisions taken by Sharad Pawar or the party to implement it, and whenever that work, now he said, that work is done, then he will say, yes, it will be done. Otherwise, he will say, don't move around me, I don't like it. And whenever he used to do the work, he will call the officer, officer, do this, and report me after it is done, or report me if it could not be done. This is the only person who used to do this. Otherwise, listen to you, give the letter, and take rid of.
Basically, a people's man, you know, a son of the soil. Baramati is always has now been mourning the untimely and the sudden death of its son. One of the strongest political pillars, Nilesh, let me just go back to our reporters there on the ground. A fortress that we are told is now lost, leaving behind him as a party there. As far as the future is now concerned with the political party, well, that remains to be seen. But right now, the people are in a state of disbelief. It's been 24 hours exactly now as we speak when the news first broke. But the situation there that we're looking at, supporters of Ajit Pawar and the Pawar family seem to have now come up to Baramati to pay their last respects. Nilesh.
Well, yes, Amita, and at the moment I'm inside the residence of Ajit Pawar, where the mortal remains have been kept for the Antim Darshan, for the last ritual to be performed. And we would like to pan around the camera. Hemant will show you the hearse van which had reached here few moments back, which brought in the mortal remains of DCM Ajit Pawar. And as you can see inside this residence, a huge queue, a long queue is what we can witness here. People from all walks of life, not only limiting to Baramati, but from across the state of Maharashtra, from various districts, are reaching out to this particular spot wherein the mortal remains have been kept. And soon from now, the state honor will also be given out to Ajit Pawar. A 3-day moon have been announced, and which is why people from across the state are reaching out in long queue. This is the visual that you can see inside the residence. Outside of this residence, outside of this gate, there's again thousands of party workers, supporters and lovers and appreciators of Ajit Pawar have gathered. Certain individuals that we spoke of stated that this is not just a mere political loss, not a loss that is limited to Pawar family members, but a loss that is incurred by the state. That is all of these citizens who are reaching out for that Antim Darshan. They have personally suffered a huge loss. They have lost a family member because Ajit Dada was not Ajit Pawar only. He was Ajit Pawar, Ajit Dada, which means elder brother to him. And which is why we several times have reported how certain statements given out by Ajit Pawar turned out to be snowballing into a controversy. However, the individual who was directly approached by Ajit Pawar stated
Nilesh,
that it was...
pictures that are now coming in of Sharad Pawar also reaching, though he had reached yesterday via helicopter there. And as far as him coming out to give his statement, and that he believed that it was necessary to quell any rumors and speculations surrounding Ajit Pawar's death. But he too broke down, giving out the news of exactly what has happened with his nephew. And this is something that nobody expected that will happen at the age that we are looking at. As far as Ajit Pawar is concerned, he still had lots of work to do, serving as the Deputy Chief Minister of the state of Maharashtra. Nilesh, pictures coming in, Sharad Pawar reaching the residence.
Well, yes, all the Pawar family members, the senior Pawars, the junior Pawars are already at this particular venue moments back, it was Rohit Pawar who was taking stock of the situation, stating that all the visitors, all these followers should be having the Antim Darshan and without any trouble. And he was also looking after what exactly could be done to speed up the process, so as much as followers could be possible to reach out to this particular spot, and it could be a smooth process for them as well. So you can only understand that Rohit Pawar is still speaking with the cops also. So senior cops are also on ground. Moments back, DG of Maharashtra, Southern Date, was also spotted at this particular venue, which highlights that several VIP movements are expected, high-profile movements are expected. But what we are speaking of is Ajit Pawar, who happens to be a leader, a party worker who is known for his groundwork, and which is why the supporters are reaching out here. They have been stating that they have not only lost a brother, a political figure, but the entire future of Baramati is under doubt now. What will they approach to now? How will they interact? How will their problems be solved? Because Ajit Pawar happens to be one leader who directly picks call of the Karyakartas, the party workers, the ground workers, and used to resolve their issues. We spoke to one supporter who stated that his work was pending for the past 6 months, but it was merely 30 seconds while he was interacting with Ajit Pawar in a lift in Mantralaya, when his entire query was solved, entire doubts and was brought to resolve. So all of those anecdotes are currently coming to the fore on this particular day, which marks a very unfortunate incident today. So we'll try to have a word with certain members also. Sir, आप लोग कहाँ से आए?
बारामती से है।
बारामती से। सर, कितनी तकलीफ वाला दिन होगा?
देखो, जो हानि हुई है बारामती को और पूरे महाराष्ट्र को, ये हम कह नहीं सकते। पिछले 11 साल से एक आदमी पूरा महाराष्ट्र का जो फाइनेंस मैनेज कर रहा था, वो अभी नहीं रहेगा। तो महाराष्ट्र में इसका आर्थिक वजह से क्या नुकसान होगा, ये हम सब देखें आगे के समय में।
दैट विल बी पॉलिटिकल लॉस। कितना बड़ा पर्सनल लॉस आप लोग को लगता है? कितना बड़ा नुकसान आपको लग रहा है?
बहुत नुकसान होगा, बहुत नुकसान होगा। मेरे को उसने काम वाला लगाया बारामती में संघ में, बारामती संघ में उसने काम लगाया ना मेरे। मैं जा सकता हूँ, गाड़ी में आ सकता हूँ, इधर से गाड़ी में, दादाजी की गाड़ी में। शाम को छुट्टी होने के बाद दादा की गाड़ी में बैठने के इधर आया काटेवाड़ी में।
आज कितना आपको पल याद आ रहा होगा, आखिरी पल जो आपने दादा के साथ बिताए होंगे?
बहुत दिन हो गया ना, बहुत दिन हो गया। मैं इधर रहता हूँ ना काटेवाड़ी।
आपको विश्वास हो रहा है जो कुछ खबरें सामने आ रही है? कुछ
नहीं होता ना, नहीं हो सकता। कल एक 2 घंटा मुझे विश्वास नहीं बैठेगा। कैसा होगा, ऐसा नहीं होगा।
लग रहा है कि परिवार का कोई सदस्य लगेगा।
अरे मेरा एक मुलाचा मुलगा म्हणजे बच्चा है, तो उस बताया हम घर में कि दादा ने गाड़ी में आएगा, विमान से नहीं आएगा।
Well, Varun, I hope you're hearing as far as, the people of Baramati know best, because son of the soil, as we are saying, Ajit Pawar spending his childhood there, then growing up, multiple elections that he has fought, and the transformation that Baramati has seen over the years. The people there know best exactly what they have lost, and this is something that they still say that they are in a state of disbelief.
Absolutely. Taking what you said earlier ahead, 66 in politics is not an age to go. But Maharashtra, to be honest, has been a bit unlucky when it comes to losing politicians at this age. Maybe Vilasrao Deshmukh, maybe Gopinath Munde, and now we also have lost Ajit Pawar. And it has come, to be very honest, for me, it is nothing less than a shock. Even today, I am in a disbelief that someone who was about to present the budget in a month from now is no more. And a leader who has been there always. In the last 2 decades of my journalism, there have been multiple instances where I have reported on the NCP and Mr. Pawar. And there has been to be very honest, he made the party in the early 2013, 14, 15, very tech savvy. As a journalist, it was when I had always been covering the opposition. So when the BJP and Shiv came to power, I was assigned NCP. And whenever I used to visit the NCP headquarters, and the kind of information that we would get, information was never kept away from journalists at the NCP headquarters. So it was something for a journalist, for someone who has been in Maharashtra, reporting from Maharashtra, covering the party. It becomes, I actually, to be very honest, I'm at loss of words now when I see the mortal remains of Ajit Pawar being taken to his home, and from where the DCM, we will never see the DCM. But one thing which Ms. Mirge said, I would completely agree, that there was never a time that he would not approachable. He would always be there for his people, and not only people from his party, but people from all other political parties. The Karyakartas for him, immaterial which political party, he would help them out. And the devastated faces of Devendra Fadnavis, Eknath Shinde, and the devastated faces of many of his leaders, party leaders, and how Sharad Pawar, I have never seen him in the last 2 decades. I have never seen him getting emotional. But when I saw his statement,
well, his contribution to the development of Maharashtra has been immense, and the people and the supporters, they're saying that it will continue to guide, inspire and motivate future generation and workers also to keep working with the same dedication as emotional scenes that are now being seen at the venue at where the final rites that would be carried out. Sharad Pawar already reaching there, and so has been the Pawar family. But as far as in the last 24 hours, what all has transpired, because it all leads to exactly what happened in the last few minutes or the seconds there before the plane crashed in Baramati. And we have an update that is now coming across of the pilot's last words before the crash happened. And it seems that the final cockpit transmission, the source that seems to be familiar with the incident on the ground control operations at Baramati airstrip, that is handled by the pilots, cadets from the towns to private flying schools, and who were therefore the crew's last point of contact. And recounting the sequence of events, the final words that seems to have been transmitted are on record, and the aircraft that went down now well short of the runway threshold, though the crash site was still within the airstrip's perimeter. But this has been highly unfortunate as far as when it comes to the sequence of events are now being linked together to understand exactly what may have gotten wrong. Let's connect with Shefali on this. Shefali, the last words of the pilot in the cockpit, as far as what has now been transmitted so far, all of course becomes part of the ongoing investigation.
Yes. So in this particular case, now the last words of the pilot from the cockpit has come out, and which were, "Oh shit," were the 2 words that the pilot used. Said in the cockpit while he was trying to land. A source who's familiar with the incident has told times now that the ground control operations at Baramati airstrips are handled by pilot cadets from Baramati's 2 private flying schools, which is Rebird Aviation and Carver Aviation, who were therefore the crew's last point of contact. These were the 2 schools in which the pilot was continuously in touch with while he was trying to land the craft. When about the sequence of events, we times now know that "oh shit" word that was used by the pilot, and that there was no communication that the ATC, that the school had with the pilot. And we were also told that the aircraft went down well short on the runway to the crash site, was still with us,
Well, as far as the last transmission is concerned, that has now been placed on record, and it remains to be seen exactly when it comes to the investigation that has been taking place, because all of the angles that are now being probed, whether it comes to if any issue of technical snag, was there any miscommunication, was there adverse weather, because low visibility is something that has also been spoken by the Civil Aviation Minister himself. So all of these angles that are now being investigated by the agencies, officials from the DGC and the AAIB already there at the spot. And let's in the meantime also talk about what has now happened as far as when it comes to the politics surrounding the death, the untimely death of Ajit Pawar. Because Ajit Pawar, the people there of Baramati are bidding him a final goodbye, but there seems to be speculations that have and rumors there around his death, as far as sensational claim that has now been made by the West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee herself. She's now demanded only Supreme Court monitored probe into the death of the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra. Maharashtra, asserting that people, including political leaders, are not safe in the country.
There is no safety and security of the people of this country. Even the political leaders, I do not know what is the fate of the opposition political parties, but we work very much with the ruling party. But before 2 days ago, I came to know that from social network that somebody from other party, they gave a statement that Ajit Pawar is willing to leave the BJP. And now what happened today, I need proper investigation under the supervision of Supreme Court. Only we have the trust on Supreme Court, no other agency. All the agencies are being totally purchased. And really it's a great loss for the country. Maybe he's from the opposition. Now he's from the opposition. But tomorrow he's supposed to join the original force of their party.
All right. We'll stay with the pictures that are now coming in from Baramati. The entire Pawar family there who have gathered. Sharad Pawar, that you can see in those pictures as information coming in that the mortal remains will now be moved to VP College, where the last rites would be performed with full state honors. A 3-day mourning that has also been announced by the state government, and people in large numbers who have now gathered as far as bidding their final farewell to Ajit Pawar, one of the tallest leaders there in the region, and the entire transformation that has now been accredited to him and the legacy that now he seems to be leaving behind. Let's connect with Arunil on this. Arunil, we're looking forward as far as leaders coming in from across political spectrum, leaders from within the Maharashtra government and the opposition, all set to join as far as when it comes to the final respects that would be paid to Ajit Dada, and the funeral then would be held.
Well, Ajit Pawar was a people's man. He had a very good rapport with the people, his supporters who were meeting him on a regular basis or who came to him with any kind of work as well. But at the same time, Ajit Pawar was a politician's man as well. Why would we want to say this? Because he enjoyed close camaraderie with leaders across the spectrum, be it from any political party. Uddhav Thackeray was also at the residence last night when Uddhav was the chief minister, Ajit Pawar was the deputy CM. Devendra Fadnavis has been calling him as a true friend, as a close friend that he has lost now. Devendra Fadnavis is the CM of Maharashtra now. Now, coming to another aspect as well, Ajit Pawar was the biggest secular face of this Mahayuti government in Maharashtra. Two aspects define his secular politics. One is whenever the winter assembly session used to be held in Nagpur, Ajit Pawar or his party MLAs refrained from going to the RSS headquarters or the RSS Smruti Mandir. The second aspect is when Yogi Adityanath was here before the Maharashtra state elections, he said, "Batenge to katenge." The immediate sharp opposite reaction came against Yogi Adityanath. It was Ajit Pawar speaking in Bid, speaking in the favor of Muslims over there. Now here, emotional people can be seen waiting for the mortal remains of Ajit Pawar. आप बताइए कि अजीत पवार आपके लिए कितना मायने रखते थे और आपको कैसे फील होता है? आपने ये सोचा था कि ऐसा कभी होगा?
ऐसा होना ही नहीं चाहिए था, ये गलत हो. नो कमेंट्स.
All of them can be seen with teary eyes over here. आप अगर हमें बताइए कि अजीत पवार कितना महत्वपूर्ण थे आपके?
हम पुणे से बिलोंग करते हैं. अजीत दादा मतलब हमारी जनरेशन का हार्ट थे, और ये जो अभी शोक कला हमारे ऊपर जो गुजरी है, ये ना भूतो ना भविष्यति, कभी भर के नहीं आ सकती. इतना दुख हमको हुआ है.
Well, those who loved Ajit Pawar because of his witty behavior, because of his straightforwardness, because of his practical nature of politics, they loved him wholeheartedly. Those who criticized him because of the same personality.
Have started to arrive there with the funeral and the last rites that would be carried out, as pictures have already started to come in. But on this very angle, Dr. Ashaji, we know that it's a difficult time there, but for the party there itself, when leaders of the opposition have been giving out statements that there could be a possible conspiracy, Mr. Sharad Pawar himself had to come out and give a statement stating that there is no foul play, it is a plain accident that has happened and a highly unfortunate one.
See, this is democracy. Who will say what? Let them say. But I have seen not only our Sharad Pawar, Patil, Ajit Pawar, Supriya Sule, we all have the first thing that we should be no nonsense politicians. Our Ajit Dada was also no nonsense politics is to be done. So our Honorable Sahib has to come, because when he reached the Baramati, he straightway went to the runway first. He saw the situation, what has happened. See that this accident was as per the say of Mr. Gaurav Jadhav, who is the captain and having 16,000 hours experience. Clearly he said on air with some TV interview that this is runway exertion. What does it mean? It means due to the wind, tailwind behind, due to the wrong approach to the runway, or due to the late break. The pilot could not take the decision of go around. It was less time, and the pilot, the plane had run beyond the runway or gone beyond the runway. And this is tabletop runway. There is a 35 feet.
No, but Dr. Ashaji, at the end of the day, they are your allies. I mean, if we speak of the political parties there, and helming the affairs has been Sharad Pawar himself, but it would be even more distressing for the family to hear, you know, the political point of view and unnecessary politics surrounding Ajit Pawar's death.
Yeah, see, this is politics. Now there are elections. The person, the CM of that state where the elections are, will definitely take the opportunity to defame the opposition. But here in Maharashtra, especially, you must have seen every leader is coming. Means we are having difference of opinion, no rivalry. हम मराठी में बोलते हैं मतभेद है हमारे, मनभेद नहीं है. Definitely when we were in the chair, definitely when we were in the campaign, we will say something about each other. But that is not kept in the mind. What our Honorable CM said, I have lost my damdar and dildar dost. This is too much for us. This, we people, how we people love each other. I will say one thing. One of our Karyakarta Neta, Gurunath Kulkarni was there. He died. After 9 years of death, after his death, 9 years of his death, Ajit Pawar noted during COVID that his wife was alone caught in Mumbai and the children were in US. Barabar. Ajit Pawar himself went to her, took her, admitted her. How difficult it was during the COVID to get the bed, you must be knowing. He took the responsibility of that, his Vahini, we will say, wife of the Karyakarta, who was dead before 9 years. Means this is our family. Rashtrapati is nothing but a family.
That's the connection that we are looking at, and that is something that today, on this sorrowful occasion, is something that must be highlighted, irrespective of all the unnecessary politics that seems to be surrounding his death, and that has now been put across by Sharad Pawar himself, saying that unnecessary politics is not needed at this point, and what the family and when it comes to the political leaders across political spectrum need to come together to unite and bid a final farewell to Ajit Pawar. As far as leaders also coming in from the Eknath Shinde faction of the Shiv Sena, who have come out to dismiss certain conspiracy theories, saying that let the investigation first conclude and do not jump to any conclusion or do not jump to any answers there before a fair probe takes place, demanding that as far as politics is also concerned, it is all about responsibility.
The opposition is busy playing its cheap politics. Mamata Banerjee and the Aam Aadmi Party should rise to the occasion and understand that a leader who is 66 years old, 6 months, 6 days, and has been the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra for 6 terms, this is not a small accolade. We pay Shraddhanjali to the family, and for somebody who has risen from the ranks, this is his contribution, not just as an able humble administrator in Baramati, but I think somebody who will be remembered as a new age politician who delivered on ground. As far as the opposition is concerned, please keep your conspiracy theories at home. Of course, there may have been technical issues, and we need to learn from this incident so that other leaders must take it seriously.
Varun, when we speak of the time and occasion, certain political leaders should also be a little sensitive as far as the statements that they give.
And, to be very honest, I see Mamata Banerjee's statement in two parts. One part of her statement, absolutely agree with that. Yes, hold an inquiry committee by a Supreme Court judge, retired judge, or even include the Chief Justice of India. There is no harm in it. The statement that she made, that Ajit Pawar, the conspiracy theory that she actually stirred, that Ajit Pawar probably behind his death was the reason that he wanted to leave NDA, is completely, I don't want to use those words BS, because for a very simple reason, probably Mamata Banerjee is too busy in West Bengal. She doesn't even have people who can tell her what's happening in Maharashtra. Akhilesh Yadav is too busy in UP. And Mr. Kejriwal is too busy handling things in Punjab that they do not know, or they do not have people what's happening in Maharashtra. A day before his death, he attended the cabinet meeting that was headed by none other than the chief minister. Not only that, he even tweeted those things. His department has taken such important decisions. And not only that, a week before this, his party's state president has come out with a statement that yes, there are talks about NCP Sharad Pawar and NCP Ajit Pawar being merged, but the NCP Sharad Pawar has to understand that the NCP Ajit Pawar faction is in an alliance with NDA in Mumbai and Delhi, and that particular faction in Sharad Pawar's team has to realize this before they come and merge with us. So things that have happened here in Maharashtra are very clear. It is very clear that there was
turmoil is for the party to, take note of it after, because right now the priority is Ajit Pawar, bidding him final farewell, the respects and the tributes that have been pouring in, and it becomes very difficult for the people there of Baramati and for the Karyakartas of the NCP to believe that Ajit Pawar is no longer with them. And the way that he used to work was unique. It was unmatched across the country as far as one of the tallest leaders that we're looking at of Maharashtra. And to quell all of the rumors, Sharad Pawar himself had to come out to give a clarification surrounding his death.
नाही हा निवड अपघात आहे. त्याच्या यातना महाराष्ट्राला आम्हा सगळ्यांना सतत उभा करून इथं राजकारण आणू नये एवढंच सांगायचं.
Well, such has been the statement that has been coming in the pictures that are now from the Vidya Pratishthan Maidan, where the last rites that would be held. The Pawar family already present as they are now waiting the arrival of the leaders there from Maharashtra and from the centre to come up and also pay their last respects, as entire Baramati has now come out to bid a final farewell to Ajit Dada.